Prince Harry has reportedly been caught in a fiery showdown with Invictus Games CEO Scott Moore, a clash that could permanently reshape his role in the organization he once called his life's work. According to insiders, the Duke of Sussex demanded VIP-level security and insisted he still be recognized as the official patron of the upcoming games. But when those requests were denied, Harry allegedly threatened legal action. Moore, however, stood firm, reminding him that he no longer holds that position. This confrontation has exposed just how fragile Harry's ties to Invictus have become. Once the centerpiece of his post-royal mission, the games now appear to be slipping further and further out of his grasp. The heated exchange reportedly unfolded during a virtual planning session for the 2027 Invictus Games in Birmingham. Harry joined the call, expecting respect and consultation as a senior figure. Instead, he was met by a board of professionals who, according to reports, had grown increasingly frustrated with his mounting demands. What began as a routine meeting quickly spiraled into conflict. Harry pushed for private entrances, a convoy of armed guards, 24-hour protection, and control over media access. His argument? As the founder of Invictus, he felt entitled to those privileges. But Moore's reply was calm and unshakable. "You're not the patron anymore. You're welcome to attend, but the games don't operate under your shadow." Witnesses say Harry was visibly rattled before lashing out, accusing the board of disrespecting his legacy and warning that legal action might follow. This isn't the first time Harry has turned to the courts. From lawsuits against the UK government over police protection to ongoing legal fights tied to his visits home, the prince has repeatedly sought to restore royal-level security without taking on the royal responsibilities that once came with it. But Invictus is not the palace. It's a charity created for and by veterans. And many are now asking, is Harry still an asset to the games, or has he become a distraction? Reports suggest his role was quietly scaled back as early as last year, after repeated clashes, PR demands, and friction with fellow board members. That decision was never made public until this latest blow-up brought it into the open. For Moore, the stance wasn't personal, but professional. The Invictus mission, to honor and uplift wounded veterans, was being overshadowed by drama tied to Harry's name. For Harry, however, the rejection cuts deep. His Netflix series devoted entire episodes to Invictus. His speeches often celebrated it. For nearly a decade, the games have been at the core of his identity after leaving royal life. And now, he finds himself pushed to the sidelines of the very project he once spearheaded. And this wasn't just a private disagreement. Sponsors, advisors, and key stakeholders were on that call, and they witnessed the clash firsthand. Several later described Harry's behavior as combative, entitled, and out of step with the spirit of Invictus. One attendee even remarked, "You'd expect someone who promotes mental resilience to manage his temper." Clearly, that wasn't the case. Behind the scenes, frustrations had been building for months. Harry's team had reportedly tried to push Netflix cameras and Sussex branding into what was meant to remain a non-commercial, veteran-centered event. His demand for military-grade protection, despite having no official role, became the final breaking point. Now, both sides are preparing for what could turn into a damaging legal and reputational battle. Harry is said to be exploring legal action, arguing that his history with Invictus entitles him to special rights. But the board remains resolute, pointing out that the games are funded by donations and public partners, not a personal security budget for a former roya. In a follow-up conversation that later leaked, Moore reportedly told a colleague, "We've tolerated too much for too long. It's time to close the chapter." Many believe that comment signals the possible end of Harry's formal ties to the event. The fallout is already being felt. Some former Invictus athletes have expressed disappointment, saying the games have become too focused on personalities and politics rather than the veterans themselves. One wounded serviceman put it bluntly, "I respect what Harry started, but it's not about him anymore. He's lost sight of that." Even corporate sponsors are quietly reconsidering their positions. One executive summed it up, "We're here to support the veterans, not bankroll royal drama. If this continues, partnerships will be reevaluated." And with the 2027 Games fast approaching, this storm couldn't have erupted at a worse moment. Whether Harry decides to fight back in court or step away gracefully, one thing is certain: his legacy with Invictus, the one project that defined his post-royal life, now hangs in the balance.